Good morning. That was the Irish blessing. Yeah. Welcome to Unity of Bellingham on this beautiful morning. Good morning. We're going to start our service by standing and singing not one, but two songs. We're going to start in your program. We're going to start with the first one, an old favorite, Weave, and then we'll go into Holy, Holy Way. Weave, weave, weave us together, weave us together in unity and love. Weave, weave, weave us together, weave us together, together in love. We are many textures, we are many colors, each one different from the other, but we are entwined with one another in one great tapestry. Weave, weave, weave us together, weave us together in unity and love. Weave, weave, weave us together, weave us together, together in love. Oh, you sound great. 'Cause we are different instruments playing our own melodies, each one tuning to a different key, but we are all playing in harmony in one great symphony. Weave, weave, weave us together, weave us together in unity and love. Weave, weave, weave us together, weave us together, together in love. A moment ago still we did not know our unity, only diversity. Now the Christ in me meets the Christ in thee. We are one great family. Weave, weave, weave us together, weave us together in unity and love. Weave, weave, weave us together, weave us together, together in love. Beautiful. You're all warmed up. Stay standing for a call and response. Holy, holy way. Kathy's going to call, and we are going to respond.
Yes, okay. All right.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Let me love in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way.
Let me live in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me know that love is all around.
Let me know that love is all around.
Oh, let me know that love can heal us all.
Let me know that love can heal us all. Here we go.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Let me love in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way.
Let me live
can heal us all.
Let me know that love can heal us all. Let me hear ya.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me smile in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me smile in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Let me love in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way.
Let me live in a holy, holy way. Beautiful.
Let us take a nice deep breath together as we move into a time of lighting the Christ candle. In the beginning was the one presence of the undivided and unmanifest pure spirit of life, light, and love. In its generosity, it shared itself, its consciousness, and its love in the visible form of creation. We acknowledge this presence within us and as us. The creative energy of the divine feminine and masculine expressing in all our giftedness and creativity. We acknowledge this in our companion, Mother Earth, in all sentient beings, the universal presence in everything we call the Christ. And we light this candle as a visible reminder of the Christ's presence, expressing in, as, and through us in this present moment. It is the truth. Let us own it. Good morning, everyone. You did a really great thing this morning. You got up on time. Yeah. I reset the clocks last night, except for one, which threw me a little bit. But anyway, so welcome to this beautiful morning, and welcome to Unity of Bellingham. I'm Shari Humes. I'm your platform assistant this morning. And so is there anyone here for the first time that we can welcome and say hello to? We have a time of coffee afterwards. Okay. So, well, thanks for everyone being here, and thanks for those online this morning. Thanks for joining us in this great day ahead. We are a joyful, evolving spiritual community committed to spiritual practices, compassionate service, and living on purpose. That is our mission. Let us own it. Today, it's always a special day, but today we have Kathy on the piano, and we have, yes, Kathy. And calling attention to our dearest Kate, who is leading vocals this morning. And, it is my pleasure to say that we have our beloved JP Falcon Grady. Why don't you stand? We're going to take some time to greet one another. So go ahead. You can, make sure you wave to people online too. But you can wave, you can shake hands, do whatever you want for a minute. But do say hello. Okay, thank you. Thank you, everyone. I'll go ahead and have you take a seat. Oh, yes, we are a friendly group. Okay, go ahead and have a seat. Thank you. It's like this is the place where we come to see our bestest friends, huh? Yeah, it is. It's true. So as you settle back into your seat here, I'm going to have you feel the spirit of love even more go through you as we take this moment to breathe and pause before we say our 5 principles together. God is good and present in all things. The holiness of God is my own true nature. I am creating my experiences by how I think. My thinking is guided by my daily affirmative prayers and affirmative actions. I follow and am sustained by these values in every way, every day, and so it is.
We come to thee, O God, in silent prayer, our hearts to thee, our hearts to thee, our We come to thee, O God, in silent prayer, our hearts to thee, our hearts to thee, our
As we gather to pray, know that as we join together in prayer, we send out waves of good, of joy, and healing feelings and thoughts to those near and far. Together we join in unity to affirm that our thoughts and feelings for ourselves are positive and compassionate. This is putting on our own oxygen mask first, to line up with the one presence and one power in all life. Spring is almost upon us, and it's a time of rebirth and renewal and prayer. And this is the asking and the invite to Spirit Divine to support any and all transformation that benefits ourselves, our families, friends, and the world we live. With faith and conviction, know your prayers are heard and making a difference at this very moment. As a community who has experienced the power of prayer, let us send love and blessings out to those we love, to others who need our support in our county, our state, our country, to those in other lands to feel the stirrings of love divine. If you would like to bless someone you know in need of prayer, feel free to speak their name out loud. at this time. And so it is. So now I invite you into a deeper, more still and serene feeling of peace as we begin our time of meditation. Begin by taking a nice, slow, deep breath. Take a few more nice, deep, slow breaths. This signals your body to relax, your mind to calm. Continue to feel your breath in and out. In unity, we gather for these moments as one heart, one mind, one love that connects us all. We are in the last days of winter. The spring equinox is just days away. We can learn from the wonder of Mother Nature as new growth is preparing to emerge. All flora is on a journey to express abundance and the wonder of evolution. Consider that each of us is on our own pilgrimage. You are not alone in your journey. You have support and guidance. Spirit Divine lights the way. Spirit Divine is always present. Breathe in. Feel in this present moment you are at ease with the one presence and one power. We have learned that our minds are brilliant and our hearts are wise. Your guide is Source Energy, Spirit Divine. God speaks through the love language of your heart. Breathe in. Go to your heart space. Breathe into the prompting of your heart to feel. Listen as you traverse life. Be open and receptive to the wisdom of your heart. As you accept a blossoming, a new beginning, be curious. Releasing, letting go of what is. To be curious is to invite new beginnings, new inspirations. When you ask, you will receive. If you want to let go of something, ask within, what would it look like if? What would it feel like if? If you desire a new path on your life journey, just ask. What would it look like? What would it feel like if? Breathe in. Finding your still point. Your still point to listen and receive the wisdom of your heart. The truest ideas bloom from your heart. To journey in life is to take one step and then another. You have a guiding light, a presence that has faith in you. Faith in you to venture forward, to pause and consider, and then continue on. Breathe in. The clearest, most interesting path is with Spirit Divine. Follow the promptings of your heart. Take rest when needed, and then journey forward in faith. Allow yourself to bloom. And so it is. Amen.
Good morning. First came her smile, then my laughter. Together, a happy ever after, yeah. With the rain comes the rainbows. Assure me that's where all the good in love grows. Humming and strumming my love and back every night, every day. Going through everything revolves around you. Singing and learning my prayers back to song every night, every day. Something you relight the dose when you say, look at the tree-lined mountain, see souls of the dead and living beneath one sky, a blue fitted sheet with puffs of pillow clouds. Hey, what's oh. Hey, what's that? In the here, 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 so up there, hey. hey, now, hey, ooh. She brings me gold, she brings me diamonds, a ruby red to show how deep the love runs. She brings me peace, she brings me silence, a calm and balance to all the violence. Humming and strumming my love back every night, every day I sing. Don't you know it's all around you? And every song and every chord I play every night, every dawn, they so kings to bring down. When you say, look at the tree-lined mountain, see souls of the dead and living beneath one sky, a blue fitted sheet with puffs of pillow clouds, yeah.
You know, JP's songs have so many layers, you know? And I know, I asked him, like, what was that song about? He goes, what do you think? I heard wisdom, mother wisdom, this feminine wisdom voice, and not a wisdom that's just sort of disconnected, but a connected wisdom, like the same breath that's breathing through the trees, that's breathing through me, that's breathing through all of us, that interconnected wisdom that we all connect into. At least that's what I heard. So maybe it means that. Or
expound on this because he's pretty much right on the nose there, right on the nose. Because it's my ode to, if you will, you see a man in life struggle and wrestle with things, and for me it's like just before I'm going on stage, that energy, that fear, all of that stuff is calmed when my woman takes me by the cheeks and looks at me and says, calmly says, look at the tree-lined mountains. See the souls of the dead and the living. And by the end of that one phrase, it's all melted away. And I'm just like going, this is how I do it. I wouldn't do it without her.
Yeah. That wisdom, yeah. So let's remember that next time we have to face anything that seems a little potentially difficult. Just feel that woman going, look at the tree-lined mountains, you know. Look at that, look at this, you know, this calmness. And it's not that. It's looking back at us. That's us looking at it and it looking back at us. And we, as humans, have the consciousness that can know that both of those things are true at once. It's so cool to be a person. We showed up in a, it's a good thing. It's a good thing. You know, so anyhow, you know when you watch TV and some shows are like episodic? So like you watch it this week and then if you watch it next week, but you missed a week, it's okay. Like every show is its own thing, right? And then other kind of shows are sort of serial shows, like you watch this week, and if you missed last week, you kind of don't know what's going on this week because they kind of build on each other. So usually, at least for me, each Sunday can be its own, what's the theme, and we do various different things, and oftentimes they're related. But we're really into this time of Lent. And Lent is a serial program. We're building on each other. And I don't know how many, if you haven't gotten this book, they're out in the foyer, and you're welcome to pick it up. And it's called 40 Days of Letting Go this year. 40 Days of Letting Go. So we're in a bit of a serial show. And so you know how you go into a show and you got to know what happened the weeks before. So the first thing they do on the show is like, last week on blah, blah, blah. Okay. Last 2 weeks at Unity of Bellingham, here it is. The quick recap so we can jump into today. So 2 weeks ago was the start of Lent, and it was this whole thing about letting go. Letting go is the theme. And the story we lean into was this one called, I'll just do it this way, the prodigal child or the prodigal son. And I had this image this week, that it was really like this guy in a journey. And I'm just going to recap it. I think most of us know it's a really famous story. I'm like, everyone knows the prodigal son. And I mentioned this before, and it's funny because I went and looked up really quick. I just did an internet search, and I said, what's the meaning of the prodigal son? Just in general, I threw it out, and it's always like, oh, somebody messed up and they had to get repentance. And I'm like, what? I don't read it that way at all. And that's sort of been the common interpretation of that story. And prodigal means it means exuberant spending, maybe too much, like living so large and so big, maybe overdid it a little bit, but certainly living large and big. And the story, and it's important to know this story because today's another story and they're related. So to know this one is to know the other one. So the prodigal, the younger son, he says, I want all the money, Father. And of course, people read that and go, well, Father means God, right? So it doesn't. Leave that interpretation off and open up our sense of what else that might mean. Maybe maybe that Father, that image, that metaphor means the truest, deepest, wisest, internal self of me that's yearning to be the fullness of who I am. The very fullness of what I've come here to be living on purpose and to my divine harmony of the truth of me. That's that energy. So we go to that energy. I want to live the fullness of me. So give me the energy I need to do it. And so the person, he goes on a pilgrimage. And it says the prodigal son goes to a faraway country. And so he's walking off. We don't know how far. It's just far away. It's maybe days, maybe many days. People go on pilgrimages, for long periods of time to leave things behind, to get to a new state, to get to a new experience, to get to a new place where they can open up and live exuberantly and bring new things into their life and into their experience. That's what the prodigal did. And then after a while, things were working out great. He was spending all the money. It was like, whoa, big times. And then there was a little famine in the land, and he out of money, and it wasn't going so good. So it's like, okay, I think I'll go back. I had that experience. That one's played out. And goes back and goes, oh man, kind of sheepishly, oh, that didn't work out. I'm going to have to take my pilgrimage back, out and back. And when I get back, I'm going to have to say, I messed up. Don't call me your son. I'll be a servant. But what does the Father say? What does this great soul, what does this great sense of the divine essence of me, the Christ essence of me that says, wait, no, let's have a party. Nice job. Nice job. Way to go. You were gone. I didn't know where you were, a little worried, but it all worked out and you're here. Let's celebrate. Let's have a party. And then there was the other son who just kind of went, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to stay home and, things are kind of fine and no. And so when the other one comes home and gets a party, he goes, wait, I've been here. I've been the good and dutiful one. I've never taken any chances. I've never gone anywhere. And, the Father, the soul energy, this great connected energy goes, yeah, love, lots of love for those parts of us that are like, I'm not ready to go out yet. The parts of us that go, I'm still a little scared. I don't have my feet underneath me. I'm not sure I'm ready to go. And the Father says, yeah, well, okay. Well, maybe you'll go like the other side. You'll go out someday and have this experience and have a party. Meanwhile, it's all here for you. It's all waiting for you. I look at those stories and I go, where's the good and bad of it? What those words, that sense isn't even there, the right or wrong of it. I don't even read any of that. It's where is the energy that supports our transformation and our growth? That's the question. Where is the energy that says, come and do this? And so letting go. You know, the son goes, I don't want to let go. I want to hold on to what I have. I know it's all safe and it's all good. But the other one says, I'm going to let go and I'm going to trust and following the urging of my sense of myself to go out and have that experience. And we talk about it as this an external journey, this pilgrimage, this external pilgrimage, and it might be. But everyone who's done a pilgrimage, like people go to the Camino, right? Over to the chapel of Santiago in Spain, and they walk for months, and they hike with their poles, and they finally get to and it's this big pilgrimage, and it seems like you can tell all the external journey about the days traveling and the 20-mile walks and the times at the hostels and the food they had and the conversations. But what's happening is it's the whole point is the internal. It's the journey in consciousness. It's a journey in expanding our sense of who we are in our outer sense of consciousness. So the first week, was letting go, let go into the new experience, let go into finding the fullness of who we are. And so the last week was about non-resistance. And if you were here, I kind of said, I don't like that one, and I didn't want to do this one, and this book is making me do this, and I like to resist. And we talked about there's a duck in the road, and sometimes you don't resist. You're not going to run it over and feathers all over it. So you just go, there it is. I'm not going to resist. And what unfolded in that is we talked about just this sense of things come up, and maybe I don't even have to look at them as, again, not good or bad, and not what I should do and what I shouldn't do. It's just here it is. Here it is. And instead of resisting it or fighting it or calling it a problem, maybe I can just say, here it is. I'm going to see it. And I'm not going to resist it. I'm going to sink back into that place of my in-breath, connect, and then go back and be in relationship with this events in my life in a new way. Find a third way. It's either this or that. Well, maybe it's not. We talk about heart math, right? Maybe I get into this and I say it's this way or it's that way, and I get really, angry at it. It's like, we got to resist this. Isn't right. This stuff that's going on in my life, this shouldn't happen. Yeah, we talked about the shoulds. I want a big should garbage can. This shouldn't, throw that out. But she shouldn't, no, throw that out. Life shouldn't, no, that shouldn't. World events should not do, throw that out. The people in the traffic shouldn't, throw that out. Who's the traffic? Stop with the shoulds. Stop with the shoulds, right? Stop resisting it all. And instead we look at what is the truth of what's facing me right now. And it's all, then this whole Lenten journey has been a breath. It's like the prodigal son. You're at home, you go out, you come back home, and then you go out, and then you come back home, and the other one that doesn't want to go out, he's breathing like this, like fear breathing, like worry breathing, like anxiety breathing, short, shallow breaths. The prodigal's breathing like this. And you feel how good that feels. Good, big, deep breaths. This is the way of fullness. This is the way of going out. So we talked about letting go, and then we talked about non-resistance. And we stop resisting and saying, that's a problem. I gotta just don't do that. It's like, well, here it is. It's shown up in my life. There it is. Now, how do I not react and call it a problem, but respond to it from a place of where we go into the silence first? And a big part of this was this beautiful little piece by this guy named Kierkegaard. It says 3 things in life: silence, obedience, and joy. And we go to silence. And then what we hear, and it's obedience, and there's that word, it's like, be obedient, right? But it's like, it's obedience to what we're hearing in our hearts, to what we know is our path, is the way we need to go. Be true to that. And go play, and go out like the prodigal, and maybe it'll work, and maybe it won't. Go find out, And I mean this on all sorts of levels, and we talk about it as a big story of going in and out, but internally, what would it be like? What was the prayer? What did you say? It was beautiful. I was thinking, how would it feel? How would it feel if, this relationship, I don't want to do, it's like, I'm just going to go say, how would it feel if I connected with somebody in a new way? Maybe someone we were having trouble with, or maybe something in our life, or something in family, or something in my world, or something in our congregation, or just fully breathing into it. How would it feel if we responded differently? Let's say in heart math, we breathe into our heart. And remember, if you were the David, we'll say Reverend David's like going, how might I show up with it? How might I respond differently to this? When I approach it from breathing through my heart, how might I respond differently? Instead of resisting and fighting it, how might I respond differently? Maybe a third way. Okay, there's a synopsis. If you missed the last 2 weeks, that's right. And that brings us up to today. And today's word is another good one. Don't be attached. Ooh. I think we probably have a few things we're attached to, we're not so quick to let go of. Don't be attached, non-attachment. So I want to tell you another story. And the reason I wanted to bring up prodigal son is 2 weeks ago, we did Christian scripture. Last week, we did a piece from the Tao Te Ching. And this week, we're going to go to the Hebrew scripture and have another story. And this is a story which is called from the book of Ruth. You guys familiar with Ruth? How many? Yeah, it's a lot of people nodding. Book of Ruth. They call it Book of Ruth. It could be the Book of Naomi. There's a lot of names for it, but let's just go with the Book of Ruth. And this is interesting. So we're in Bethlehem. The story starts, right? We're in Bethlehem, which metaphysically means a house of bread, the house of fullness, the house of substance, which you could read also the house where we connect and resonate in divine substance, that sort of electrical energy that sparks the human life into Christ consciousness. It's one of the reasons where Jesus and all the narrative stories, Jesus born out of Nazareth, it's this place where we connect into this Christ consciousness. And this story is full of great ironies, which makes it so fun. So we're in the house of bread, the house of substance, and there's a famine. So these stories are great. There's a great famine. So this lady, Naomi, which means, in metaphysics, sort of means the charming one, just the beautiful one, just this lovely, charming, beautiful human being. And she's married to a guy named Elimelech, which means there's a king in Israel. And of course, they think that this was at the time of the judges, which means there wasn't a king in Israel. So it's kind of a play on this whole thing. The king of Israel, and there isn't one. But this guy, and they go, there's a famine in the land. So once again, we're on a journey. And they go on a long journey. And if you can see it on the map in the ancient times, they go on the other side of the Dead Sea to a place called Moab. And when they get to Moab, this place of Moab is a place, and it means on the physical plane, a lovely place. Just a lovely place on the physical plane of things. So it's beautiful. The king, there is a king, and there is a ruler, and this divine thing, and everything goes good. And they're getting a little attached to this situation. We're really good. There was a famine. Now we're in Moab. There's lots of food. We're doing really well. They have 2 sons, and they both get married. Now they got 2 daughter-in-laws. Everything's going great, and it's really good. And they're off at Moab, and they're loving this place, right? And then sadly, her husband and the 2 sons die. Yeah, it was a bit tragic. And so here's the irony again. Here's this lady named Naomi, which means like beautiful and lovely and wonderful. And all she can say is, I'm just bitter. I'm just bitter. Really sad. So she turns to the daughters and goes, look, this game's up. This is a problem. Red lights flashing. Is it? What's going on? This is all wrong. There's that right and wrong again. And instead, and we can see from looking at this story from thousands of years later, it's like maybe we look at this story as what's happening, what's unfolding, what's coming of this story, what's evolving in our life. And so the one daughter says, she tells the 2 daughters, look, there's nothing for you. I can't help you. And at the time, it's a very patriarchal, a woman traveling alone with 3 widows going around, and it's like, I can't help you, and I don't have any land, and I don't have any money. Just go back to your people. Don't just go back to the way you know. Go back to Moab. Go back with your people. You can't come with me. I'm going back to Judea. Back to and they won't even like you. Our people don't get along. You stay here. You go back to your people. And there's this beautiful scene that her one daughter-in-law, and her name's Ruth. And this whole book is about Ruth. And she looks at her mother-in-law and she says, yeah, I know I should go back, but I'm not doing that. I know that that's for my people, and I'm not doing that. I love you. I've just grown, and I really love you, and I'm going to choose the way of love. And she says, don't press me to leave you. Don't make me turn back from following you, because where you lodge, I'm going to lodge. Your people now are my people, and your God is my God. Where you die, I will die, and I'll be buried with you. Isn't this beautiful? She goes, this sense of like non-resistance. I'm not going to follow what I should do and what's the safe route. I'm not going to be the brother that stays home. I'm going to play it safe. I'm going to go back to Moab. I'll be with my people. Everything will be good. She goes, I'm going to not be attached to that. I'm going to let go, and I'm going to follow you, and I'm going to see what happens. So, just like the prodigal son all over again, right? And so they make the long journey back to Bethlehem, back to the house of substance, the house of bread, the house of fullness. And when she gets there, Naomi, the mother-in-law, she says, just like when the son came back, the prodigal son, and said, "Oh, I don't deserve to be your son. Just make me a servant." It's like the same thing. She comes back and she says, "Oh, call me no longer Naomi," which means, this beautiful one, but call me Mara, which means bitter. For the Almighty's done bitterly with me. I went away full, but now God has brought me back empty. And so it's like this, it just, like the prodigal son come back, it just didn't work out. And then the community in Bethlehem, all the people there when she comes back, just like the father and the prodigal son said, "Welcome home. It's so good to see you. We've missed you. It's so great you're back." Same theme. To not get attached to the safe way and move back into the fullness of what's the possibility. To come back into what's the possibility. And so she shows up back in Bethlehem, back in the house of bread, with all the people welcoming her. And this very fascinating thing happens. And this is why we don't get too attached to the final outcome. This is why we don't say, "Oh, I know how this story's going to end. I got to have it all figured out. I know what's right or wrong. Throw those out. I know what I should do. Yeah, get rid of that. I'm just going to follow my heart, this connecting in my heart, this path of love and this path of, Naomi and Ruth, and come together." And they get there, and then she has this land that used to belong to her husband, and now a man named Boaz is farming this land. And she tells her daughter-in-law, "That's a guy you need to get to know." So she goes out and she's gleaning the field, and it goes on for a long story. And actually you can kind of read it because there's a lot of innuendo, I might say, about how Ruth and Boaz are, this kind of movement that they do. But anyhow, as you can imagine, they eventually get connected. And Ruth has a son with Boaz. And Boaz has the sense of, his name, like metaphysically means just a person of integrity, a high character. And so you get Boaz with high character, and Ruth, who metaphysically means the natural soul in love with God. And your song, I was thinking of Ruth. It was so good. I'm like, this wisdom, this divine feminine, this Ruth, this metaphysically means the natural soul that's just in love with the divine, the natural soul, not like a disconnected, but the soul that's just part of this great, came out of Moab, the place where earth is the best of the sacred earth. And she comes from that land, and it's with a soul that's just connected to this divine and to love. And she connects with this Boaz, with a person of high integrity. And when high integrity meets with soul that's in love, when the inner life and the outer life, the best of all comes together, and they connect, and they had a child, Obed. And now here's the cool thing. So all along, Naomi's thinking, "Oh, it's such a problem. It didn't work out, and nothing worked out." Here's the cool thing. Obed is the father of Jesse. Jesse is the father of David. And David is the ancestral leader of Jesus from Ruth. Not an Israelite, it's an outsider. Someone along the line who is willing to say, "I'm not going to do what I should do because what I should do, the safe way," what the younger brother, the brother said, the other brother, she was the prodigal. She said, "I'm going on an adventure. I'm going to be a pilgrim. I'm going to take the walk. I'm going to take the chance. I'm going to follow you because my heart says, Naomi, I love you." And Ruth and Naomi went back. It didn't make any sense. Two widowed women doing this long journey, this long pilgrimage back into a place where she didn't even know. And in the end, because she followed her heart, how it worked out, that she's part. And if you go read the Gospel of Luke or go read the Gospel of Matthew and you look at the ancestors, you will find Boaz in there and Obed. This is the lineage. This is the start of the gospel. All comes from this person, from Ruth, from a place of this natural soul that just the nature soul, the fully human soul that was in love with God and connected with this life of just high character and integrity. And they come together, and it doesn't escape me, and maybe it doesn't escape you, that all that happened hundreds and hundreds of years before Jesus was born. And in time, in linear time, in our lives, we see, we get our 80, 90, 100, whatever we get. That's our lives, right? This is that time. But in heaven's time, it's happened now. Now it's happened. And we say, it is now true. It is now my truth. It is now happened. When will it outpicture in earthly time? Well, it outpictures when it comes. And it's the way, too, we can sit, and these stories. It's the way, too, in unity, we talk about prayer. Where we can stand in the truth of seeing something happen in our life, and we can connect that natural soul that connects, and we stand in integrity, and we say, for example, we look at an experience, and we go, this healing is now. This wholeness is now. This well-being is now. I claim, and it is the truth. Oh, and when am I going to see that? Well, we'll see it. And Charles Fillmore says, you might see it in an instant. You might see it in an hour. You might see it in a week. You might see it in a month. You might see it in a century, such that the healing we do now, and we stand in that truth of it happening, and it may happen to us in this moment, and we may experience to the extent that we do experience it. And I think sometimes, like, the healing that happens to me is also happening for my son and my daughter and my granddaughter and my great-grandson. It's what we do now in this energy, and we claim now and get into this wholeness. We're being Ruth. We're having the child now that's going to be a few hundred years from now is going to birth the Christ into the world. And we're part of that lineage, and we can stand in the joy of knowing we're part of all that. And we just claim it in the truth now. Isn't that great? Detachment. If we don't get too attached to, this doesn't make sense, what I should do and the safe thing to do and what everyone's telling me to do and, this, when I've read books I should do and this, some religious thing says I should take those shoulds and go, what's my heart saying is the right thing to do at this point? Do the heart math. And and this is one of the beauties of why we're talking about meditation. And we suggest, and a lot of people I know have suggested to me, and I think it's always a good thing to do, is for this 40 days of Lent, if you've started it, wonderful. And if not, start now. 20 minutes a day of sitting in the silence. And I suggested if you need a mantra, you can breathe in, peace, breathe out, be still. If you go to Unity Village in the chapel, there's a meditation chapel, and it just says on the walls, peace, be still. Peace, be still. And I'm going to leave you with a interesting little puzzle that I've been puzzling with. Because I've been thinking like this peace, we go home, and then we go out. Then we go home, come back. Oh no, we go out. Our breath takes us on a pilgrimage. How many times a minute? We go in to our hearts, and we go out. And we express. And in the same ways, the unity piece, this Trinity mind idea expression, we go in, we connect to divine mind, the mind of ourselves, the consciousness of ourselves, the place of all ideas that download to ourselves, and then we go out and express them. And based on what we've expressed, what we've learned, what we found, we take it back in. Now who am I? What did I learn? What did I find out? What was my relationships? What do I know better? And then we go back out. So we're asking in this Lenten period for us to be just deep breathers and have just really have that courage that says I can go in deeply, meditate, and I can go out and express. And here's something that I find really interesting, and it's just a thought. I'll leave it with you like this. Maybe even close your eyes and imagine this. When you came into the world and you were born and you showed up, the first thing you did is we took an in-breath. And when we transition from this incarnation, this world, and we move on, the last thing we do is an out-breath. Our whole life journey is an in-breath and then an out-breath. We come in on the in-breath, I'm here, I'm home on planet Earth in my body as a human being. I don't get attached to that because ultimately there's that final out-breath. Detached. We let go. And every breath here in between, and ultimately from the start and the finish, it's all a matter of coming home, going out, coming home, going out, playing in this field of divine consciousness and allowing our lives to express for the purpose that we were here to be. Don't need to know the final answer. May not know the final answer for 100 years, and it's okay. We get glimpses along the way. We get the promises of the prodigal son and the story of Ruth and Naomi. And we know this unfolding in this perfect pattern as we align with each in-breath and out-breath throughout our lives and even throughout the centuries. We're in that flow. We're in that play. Just sit with this a moment in the silence and in the silence.
Breathe in and feel the play in divine consciousness. How fun to play. So in this state of bliss that we're in, let's take our offering in our hands. We'll get ready for that. And as the ushers come forward for our offering, we know that abundance is our divine inheritance. Giving is our gift of love and appreciation. We always appreciate your generosity in support of this ministry that we're creating together. This includes each of you with us in person and each of you that are online with us now. So as you take your offering to your heart, affirm quietly to yourself, I give freely and joyfully, for God is my source, and I have abundance in all areas of my life. And together, our offertory blessing, divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you.
She's flying ever closer to the ground and flying to find her way back home again. Swore she'd never roam again. She's trying to bring it back to what it was before, what it was before her dirty little war. She won't fight it anymore. She found diamonds shining, broken bottles off the floor. I've been waiting, I've been wishing so much faster than before. She bends and twists like the wind that brought her home again. Ooh, she goes spinning round again, and she's laughing so much louder than before. Not a whisper, oh, but a roar. One giggle and it'll knock you to the floor. She found diamonds shining, broken bottles off the floor. I've been waiting, I've been wishing. She's smiling so much brighter than before. It lights up the full moon, the sun, and more. So much brighter than before. She's crying so much softer than before. The tears are real, poured right from her very soul. It's raining silver and gold, with those diamonds shining, broken bottles off the floor. I've been waiting, I've been wishing. She's flying, she's flying. She's flying.
Every time I hear that song, I'm going to think of Ruth. Just, I'm flying, man. I'm following my heart. I'm going to transform what seems to be broken bottles, and I'm just going to see gold, and I'm going to just move forward. God, I love that song. And so we bless these gifts. Oh my gosh, so much gratitude fills our hearts. Each gift a representation and an expression of the love of the divine that is flowing in us, through us, around us, and in all ways with the courage for our own lives and the lives of our community. Thank you. So much gratitude. And for unity worldwide and for peace on our earth. Amen. Gosh, I feel good. What a good day. It's so beautiful outside. That kind of helps too, right? Yeah. For those of you online, it's gorgeous in Bellingham, Washington. So I have a few announcements. Let me see. Special board meeting today. I think I see all the board members here to get ready for our annual meeting, which is in 2 weeks, which is March 26th. Another announcement that our annual meeting will happen right after service on March 26th. It's the fourth Sunday right here, so please plan on just hanging out for a little while. It's not a huge agenda, but we want to have our annual meeting and give the state of the state on what's going on at Unity. And by the way, for those of you going to the Multi-Faith Network for Climate Justice, tomorrow there's a meeting at the Unitarian at 6:30, and that'll be, kind of a good meeting as well. So those of you who have been going, that'll be tomorrow, Monday. And what else? Oh, today is the Earth Care meeting. Now, some of us who go to Earth Care typically are going to be in the board meeting. But still, I would encourage people who like to do Earth Care to huddle up over here after. And we've had some agenda items, and we've been working forward on some things to keep the ball rolling and go ahead and meet. And if we can, and those of us in the board will join you as soon as we can. And as a final note, I put this back up because this is a quilt we had up back when we did Grounded in Faith, and now we're raising the roof, and we're almost complete with this vision. I mean, we put this up like a year ago and said, okay, we need a new septic, or we need to get rid of the whole septic system. We're going to put in a sewer. They're connecting to the street, and they're going to do a new street project. So we had all this beautiful vision of the water bubbling up and clean water and doing all that, and now we have raising the roof, like this tree that's just growing up, and we're raising the roof, and we're almost done. So this vision, this beautiful sort of vision of this whole capital campaign that we're doing, first Grounded in Faith and raising the roof, we only have 3 more weeks left. We said it'd be 8 weeks, and we're into week 10 weeks. What did we say, 10? Anyhow, we got 3 weeks left. So the week of the annual meeting, which is the last week of the month, the campaign is over. So, of course, like Diane and I were looking at ours and going, how much did we put in? What did we say? And anyhow, so we're getting there, and we're like 3 more weeks. So we still have a little music we can do for the last 3 weeks. And then, man, we did it. Like that was a year, and we got the septic, the new sewers in, and the roof. Have you seen the roof? Is it like we got a little painting left to do? But it's like almost done. It was so nice. It was raining the other day, and the walkway was dry, and it's like, whoa, this is great. There's not moss all over, and it's like, it's like Naomi seeing that vision, right? It's like, I know this is what my heart is saying to do. What's going to outpitch her from all that? Let's see, they're like the tree. Let's see what blossoms. And so it's very exciting to be at the end of this capital campaign and putting our physical infrastructure, which really is just a representation of raising the consciousness of our whole community and supporting the raising of the consciousness in Bellingham and Whatcom County and all our surrounding area. So anyhow, just a few weeks left, and then we're wrapping this up. But we'll give people a chance who want to throw something in the roof that we're raising. There it is. It's very symbolic, as it is. And we have some music, yeah. There we go. Oh, and Janae has an announcement as well.
Am I on? Nope. I'm not on. Am I on now?
Oh, you want to use the one on the... Yeah, there you go.
Okay, here I am. Okay, stay close. Good morning. Our dearest Reverend Julie Montag. Reverend Julie Montag has gone missing in the Mount Baker Forest tree this weekend. I have been in contact and talking with her husband, Roy, been on the phone with him all morning. He's been trying to call me this weekend. We've become really close and good friends. She has dementia, and she walked away from their hike and ran off. We have 2 or 3 large groups of Red Cross and everybody looking for her up there. So if we could please keep her in our prayers. It's been very hard.
Yeah, let's do that right now. Let's send a prayer out for Reverend Julie, and we'll just put our hands up. And we'll bless the searchers who are out diligently looking for her. We know these Red Cross people, the search and rescue, they're brilliant at what they do. So we send them a prayer for courage, for insight, for attention, and put and just acknowledge the love in their hearts and the love for all the people that are out searching for Julie, for Reverend Julie. And we know that the light of God surrounds her, and the love, join me, the love of God enfolds her. The power of God protects her, and the presence of God watches over her. And wherever she is, God is as well. Yeah, prayers go up. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Janae. Okay.
Ready?
Let's sing. Let's stand and sing. We can be the change. One step, one act, it's a simple fact. We can be the change. Don't have to do it all, no steps too small. We can be the change. Here we go. Be the change. We can be the change. Be the change. We can be the change. One heart, one voice, one simple choice. We can be the change. When it calls to you and it's yours to do, we can be the change. Be the change. We can be the change. Be the change. We can be the change. Reach out one hand. Be the change. A part of the plan. Be the change. Put it into motion. Be the change. Like a ripple on the ocean. Be a change. Oh, oh, be the change. We can be the change. Be the change. We can be the change. Louder. Be the change. We can be the change. Be the change. Yeah, we can be the change. We can be the change. We can be the change.
Beautiful. Thank you. That was a fun, good song. All righty. We've already done our prayer for protection, but let's do it again. I think that feels really good. Good, good, good. So let's just hold our hands up or hold them out, however it feels good. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. And so it is. So thank you. Let's make a circle and sing our song, I Choose Love.
Peace in my life is growing because I choose love. Love's always present, it's what I'm made of. I choose love. We are a part of choice unites us. Let this be the one.